The White House has hit back at both Bush presidents after a scathing assessment of Donald Trump's leadership in a new book about the father and son. Former President George H.W. Bush publicly rebuked Trump, describing him as a blowhard in historian Mark Updegrove's new book, The Last Republicans. His son, George W. Bush, also had some harsh words for his Republican successor. "This guy doesn't know what it means to be president," a White House official reportedly told CNN that if one presidential candidate can disassemble a political party, it speaks volumes about how strong a legacy its past two presidents really had, and that begins with the Iraq War, one of the greatest foreign policy mistakes in American history. The official added, President Trump remains focused on keeping his promises to the American people by bringing back jobs, promoting an America First foreign policy and standing up for the forgotten men and women of our great county. Both Bush presidents went on the record to give Mr. Updegrove their candid assessment of Mr. Trump, as well as rare insight into their thoughts on the 2016 presidential race as the drama unfolded. The most critical comments about Mr. Trump came from the elder Mr. Bush, now 93, who told Mr. Updegrove in May 2016, "I don't like him. I don't know much about him, but I know he's a blowhard. And I'm not too excited about him being a leader." In file photo, George W. Bush, center, poses Barack Obama, and former presidents, from left George H.W. Bush, left Bill Clinton and Jimmy Carter, right, in the Oval Office. Picture app. Source app. Author went on to ask George H.W. Bush what he thought Mr. Trump was seeking in running for president, and the former Navy war hero responded by saying that Mr. Trump had a certain ego. Neither of the two Republican former presidents voted for Mr. Trump. The father voted for Hillary Clinton and the son voted for none of the above, as he told Mr. Updegrove. In the book, Mr. Updegrove writes that the younger Bush did not think Mr. Trump would win when he first entered the presidential race. Interesting. One last was the reaction that George W. Bush had in those days, Mr. Updegrove writes. However, at one point during the 2016 presidential campaign, the younger Mr. Bush confided to the author, "I'm worried that I will be the last Republican president." The White House hit back quickly, "If one presidential candidate can disassemble a political party, it speaks volumes about how strong a legacy its past two presidents really had," a White House official told CNN. And that begins with the Iraq War, one of the greatest foreign policy mistakes in American history.